with an OG, I think a lot of people's favorite, and that is The Grinch. And we're talking about How the Grinch Stole Christmas, made in 2000 specifically. Jim Carrey's The Grinch, the guy who was basically buried alive with makeup and had the best comic performance in makeup, more than Mike Myers. Or Michael Myers? No, that's the other guy. Mike Myers in Cat in the Hat also did good. I think Jim Carrey, by far the best. But if for some weird freaking reason you don't know How the Grinch Stole Christmas is, it's basically about the Grinch, who is, or you know what? I'll just give you the plot. As the Who's of Whoville prepare for the beloved Christmas celebrations, the Grinch, a bitter and misanthropic green creature who resides in a cave on Mount Crumpet, despises the holiday and plans to ruin it. 6-year-old Cindy Lou Who, which used to be my nickname when I was a child because I looked like her, I guess, as a kid, disillusioned by the town's obsession with the materialistic aspects of Christmas, has a chance encounter with the Grinch at the Whoville post office, where he saves her after she falls into mail sorting. So basically, the Grinch wants to just rid all of Whoville of all their gifts and everything that makes Christmas Christmas, but he's only taking the material things. And then at the end of the movie, you figure out that Christmas isn't about material things, it's about Christmas spirit. And the person that hated Christmas the most, which is the Grinch, loves Christmas, and his heart grows as how many sizes bigger? I don't fucking remember. 3 sizes bigger than what it was, and he starts to feel, and they start to sing, "Da who Doris, da who Doris, who is my everywhere." I love it. I love it. So many funny parts in that movie, though, but absolutely fantastic. One of my personal favorites. Okay, and we're up against the other Grinch. We're up against How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which was a TV series in 1966. Still holds up, in my opinion. First Grinch that I ever saw, because the other one came after I was born. Great animated series. And I love how all these older ones are like TV specials. They're not even like standalone movies, or I guess they are movies, but you know what I mean. They're originally TV specials. But yeah, it was made in 1966. Pretty much the exact same premise. Grinch pissed off at all the Who people. You know, in the other Grinch, you get a bit more of a backstory. He's like a cute little Grinch baby and he's adorable, which I really appreciated and liked. So you kind of get to know the Grinch a little bit more. But the animated one is great. It's very cute. I love it for nostalgic reasons. There's not a whole lot that's different. There's just less details, basically. It gets to the point. Yeah, because it says the runtime's only 25 minutes because it's like a special, I guess. So it's great. I'm not mad at it, but I have to give it to my boy, Jim Carrey. I gotta give it to him. We're putting the Grinch up at the next one. I'm sorry, animated Grinch. You will always be remembered. And next, we have another oldie but freaking goody Grady. And that is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which was another TV special. I love these stop motion animations. They're some of my favorite Christmas movies. There's other ones that didn't make it into my rankings, but they're runner-ups, and I highly suggest watching them. They stand up today. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfits is so cute and adorable. Love it. Jack Frost is another really good one. There's a lot. I recommend watching all of them. Honestly, worth it. But I only have 2. So the first one, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's fantastic. It's like the origin story of Santa Claus in their own way. Came out in 1970. So basically the plot is following a newsreel highlighting the excitement of children worldwide awaiting Santa Claus. A postman named Special Delivery S.D. Kluger is introduced. After Kluger's mail truck breaks down, he proceeds to tell the story of Santa in response to letters sent by children. It's so cute. I love it. It makes me so giddy. And the story begins with a baby named Klaus arriving on the doorstep of Burgermeister, Meisterburger, and he's like one of the best villains ever in cinema history. The grouchy mayor of Sombertown, Meisterburger, orders Grimsley, his aide, to take Klaus to an orphanage, but a gust of wind sweeps the baby away, and Klaus is rescued by a group of animals who transport him to the Kringles, a family of elves. It's so adorable. It reminds me a lot of the movie Elf, which is also one of my favorites, which we will be getting to. They rename him Chris and raise him. Chris, my name, love that. Teaching him how to make toys. And basically it goes on that he grows up, becomes awesome. He's a ginger also. Shout out to all my gingers out there. Meanwhile, while he's growing up, the Meisterburger Burgermeister, he enacts a law prohibiting toys, so all the kids in the town are really sad. And Santa Claus wants to bring him toys. He's kind of like a Robin Hood, but he gives stuff to people. Like I said, it's like Robin Hood. He doesn't steal stuff, though. He's not really like Robin Hood. Anyway, and he meets this girl named Jessica, who's beautiful, also a ginger. But at the end of it, all the kids get toys. Santa Claus becomes Santa Claus. Jessica becomes Mrs. Claus, and it's beautiful, and I highly recommend watching it. Very good. A lot of really good songs, too. One of my favorite songs, Christmas movie history, is Put One Foot in Front of the Other. And it goes, you put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, you don't get it, but you should watch it. This movie is up against another stop-motion animation movie, which is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was another TV special, and it was made in 1964, so it did come before Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's very adorable, too. Basically, the origin story about Rudolph, just like the Santa Claus one, which I really love. Basically, Donner, the lead reindeer for Santa Claus, and his wife have a new fawn named Rudolph, and they are surprised to find out he is born with a glowing red nose. He's different. He's different than everybody else. And Donner attempts to first cover Rudolph's nose with mud and later uses a fake nose so Rudolph will fit in with the other reindeer. And this makes me, as a kid watching this, I was like, don't cover his nose. It's beautiful, you know? And it's just like the messaging behind it's adorable. And I think if you have kids, they'll love this movie. If they haven't seen it, you'll love it too. In the following spring, Rudolph goes out for the reindeer games where the new fawns learn to fly and are scouted by Santa for future sleigh duty, which I love. I love that. Rudolph meets a doe named Clarice, who tells him he's cute, making Rudolph fly, and while he celebrates with the other bucks, Rudolph's fake nose pops off, causing the other reindeers to mock him, and the coach comment to expel him. What? All the reindeer made fun of him. That's where that's from, and I love it. Anyway, it goes on to just say, like, basically give the whole origin story of Rudolph. He meets some really cool folks, a little misfit elf who just wants to become a dentist, which is adorable, and Yukon Cornelius, who's a prospector who has spent his life searching for silver and gold, also a great character, and the Abominable Snowman, just all these misfits. And then obviously he comes back and Santa's like, we need a light to get through all the snow, and then Rudolph's like, I have a nose with my light, and he's like, all right, you're up front, buddy. And then he gets accepted by everybody. So it's adorable. It's a great message. I love it. Some, fun things here and there. It's hard to choose for me between the two, but I think I've watched the Santa Claus is Coming to Town more, and I like how it just did its own thing. It kind of, I don't know. I think I gotta give it to Santa Claus. I'm giving it to Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, adorable. Highly recommend. Next, we have another Jim Carrey special, which is A Christmas Carol. It was a film made in 2009, and it's obviously based off the Charles Dickens 1843 novel of the same name, and it has huge actors like Jim Carrey, Gary Oldman, Colin Firth, Robin Wright Penn, and so on. Really great cast. Obviously, Jim Carrey knocked it out of the park again. I'm so biased. I just really like Jim Carrey. But, I mean, if you don't, I feel like everybody knows, like, the story behind A Christmas Carol. It's basically about Ebenezer Scrooge, who's basically the Grinch. He's just a penny-pinching, greedy bitch, moneylender, and refuses to partake in the merriment of Christmas. And on Christmas Eve, he declines his cheerful nephew Fred's invitation to the annual Christmas dinner party and dismisses two gentlemen who are collecting money for charity. And his loyal employee, Bob Cratchit, requests to not work on Christmas Day so he can spend time with his family, to which Scrooge reluctantly agrees. And that night, Scrooge encounters the shackled ghost of late business partner Jacob Marley in his bedchambers, and Marley warns Scrooge to repent his ways or suffer a worse fate. And before informing him that three spirits will visit him and guide him away from this miserable existence. And at 1 o'clock, Scrooge is visited by the candlelight ghosts of Christmas past, who shows him visions of his childhood and early adulthood. And they see his lonely boarding school days, his relationship with his beloved sister Fan, and his time as the apprentice for moneylender Nigel Fezziwig. And it just keeps going on, from Ghost of Christmas Present to Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and it's just, he basically goes through all these emotions of like how this all matters, and he can change if he wants to change, and what he does affects other people and all this shit, and he ends up just being a good guy at the end, just like the Grinch. Very similar to the Grinch in my opinion. And it's great. And the animation is really cool. Also creepy. It reminds me of Polar Express, which we'll be getting to. It scared me a little bit, honestly, which I kind of liked. It was like introductory into horror movies for me. Little bit. And yeah, great movie overall. I really liked it. And I'm putting it up against another Christmas Carol movie because I don't want to have multiple of the same ones. And that is The Muppet